Welcome to Sib Spot. Today's Reddit stories are from Entitled Parents. Our first story is by Tiny Learnings. Entitled Mom wants me to change her child's grade. So I'm a first-year high school teacher for 10th grade English. I have this one student who throughout the school year didn't try on his work. Examples would be that he'd only half finish worksheets or not participate in what we were doing in class. I gave him plenty of chances to make up work and even do some extra credit, as I didn't want to see any of my students fail. Though I know I can't prevent everyone from failing, and they have to put effort in for themselves. Well, even after all that, he slacked off and basically didn't care about it. He cared about passing, he just didn't want to do the work from what I can assume from the interaction. Anyways, I got an email from his mother the other day asking for a parent-teacher conference, something that I've done a lot of lately since it's only a week till the end of the school year. I agree and set a date. Well, in the conference, the mother starts to tell me about how her son is passing, but barely passing, his other classes, and she really wants him to pass all his classes. I told her that I wanted all my students to pass as well because I care about all their futures, but he hasn't put any effort into the class to pass it. She then tells me that he did the work and put the effort in on what he did do in the class, and that I should just drop all the other grades that made him fail so he can get a pass. I told her no, that it wasn't going to work like that. I could maybe give him some extra credit grades that he could do, but even then it might not pass him. She then proceeds to tell me that she'll have him do all of them if I drop the rest of his failing grades. This went on for some time with not much progress being made until I finally told her that the best I could do was replace one of his lowest grades with what he makes on an extra credit assignment. But I wouldn't do anything else, to which she huffed that, "We'll see about that," after she ended up leaving, and the next day I gave him the extra credit. But as the deadline to turn them in to me looms closer, I doubt that he'll do it and he'll fail either way. I feel like this person's not actually an English teacher. Their paragraph structure is awful, and the readability of this story is abysmal. So maybe it's English as a second language or something, but I'm not sure they're even a teacher. Regardless, the top comment from Goose Character 5078 below said it best. Unless he has accommodations, don't do it. She will tell other parents you can be bullied. I just finished my 30th year teaching high school English. You have graded his work the same as you have graded the 120 to 180 other students you teach. It's not fair of her to try and bully you. And if an admin asks you to change it, tell them you want it in writing and signed, stating that this is a direct order. In my state, falsifying grades is illegal. If you have a union and aren't a member, join now and have a union rep present at any meetings regarding this matter. Cover your butt, is what they're saying, and that is one of the best things you can do if you work in a school. Our next story is by Spooky Girl 0123. Entitled Parents Tell Me to F Off in My Own Yard? Enjoy your free shower. Long-time lurker, first-time poster. Please forgive any formatting mistakes since I am on mobile. A few years ago, I lived in a house that was a block away from a public park. It was a very large park, and I noticed 2 soccer games occurring when I left one Saturday to go to the grocery store. When I returned home about 45 minutes later, I noticed there was a truck parked beside my property. The occupants of that truck were on my property. There were 2 children dressed in soccer uniforms, their mom and dad, and a large Doberman. The Doberman was lying on a picnic blanket, the parents were setting up their family's picnic lunch, and the children were chasing each other, all on my front lawn. I couldn't believe my eyes. I pulled my car into my driveway and walked over to the family and asked why they were on my property. The entitled mother then snarked at me. "What does it look like? We're eating lunch." I asked why they're not eating lunch in the public park that is a block away, and she responded, "It's more peaceful here." In complete shock, I said, "This is private property, and you all need to leave now." The mother's response was, "Go F yourself, you little B-word." I was furious. I pay the mortgage. I do all the lawn work, and you think it's okay to trespass and tell me where to go on my own property? So this was the easiest revenge ever. I walked right beside them to the outside tap that was attached to my sprinkler system and turned it on. The family started screaming and grabbed all their stuff as they ran to the truck. The mother and father screamed obscenities the whole time and said that they were gonna get me. Well, this is where revenge number 2 came in. I downloaded my security camera footage to show the license plate and brought it to my next door neighbor, who just happened to be a police officer who was working that day. The parents were charged with trespassing, and I had a smile on my face for the rest of the day. Entitlement of some people is insane. Like, your front lawn is nice, so we're just gonna set up here and have lunch and a picnic. And literally a block away is a beautiful park, a big park. Because it's quieter, you think you can just set up on somebody's front lawn and tell them to go F themselves. What the heck? Our last story is by XXJSOXX. Mother-in-law says she deserves to know when we start trying for a baby. Oh boy, you already know. I'm 23 female, husband is 27 male. She said, I deserve to know when you're going to start trying to have kids. I don't need all the gory details, but I do think I deserve to know the truth and have a heads up. When I was explaining, way too nicely, how that was too much information, and we would want to wait to announce in case I had a loss or something, she then went on a rant about how I am disgusting. All she wanted when she had a loss was to go cry to her mother and tell her everything. So for me to want to keep her grandbaby a secret, despite all the support she would give me because she just wants to help, is absolutely disgusting. All of this occurred on a phone call when my husband and I were announcing that we had just bought our first home, and instead of a normal congratulations, we got roasted with insults. We're disrespectful. How selfish of us not to include them in our home buying process. We need to humble ourselves and ask them for help because they've bought a house before and we haven't. They're so hurt and we're moving a few hours away, so we're taking away the kind of grandparents they want to be. On and on and on about how our actions affect their lives, and we need to share what's going on in our lives and not be so secretive. Oh yeah, and we are the entitled ones apparently. For living our own lives and not wanting their opinions. Not sure how that works. This often seems to be like a cultural thing. Wouldn't surprise me if this is a very traditional cultural family. Some parents think they're entitled to everything and they want to live vicariously through you. It's up to you to put your foot down, and this person certainly did. Like, give them some privacy. They just want to live their lives. You're not entitled to be up in their stuff all the time. Top comment is by Lady V, 21,454. Congratulations on having the sense to move a few hours away. Makes it harder for mother-in-law to be in your business all the time. And if she doesn't start backing off, tell her the only type of grandmother she's going to be is grandma that we never see. Today's episode has come to a close. Until we meet again, have an awe-inspiring day.